DJ Pointman here. Join Char, Willie, and Classic Ruby for their radio show, Keep the Beat. They broadcast every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CRBJ, Classic R&B Jams. There are discussions of the songs, and that can take you back down memory lane. If you missed the live broadcast, no worries. Replays are uploaded on Mixcloud. So, follow Just Act Char Advice channel on Mixcloud and you will receive the notification when these broadcasts are uploaded.
Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday to you. Happy first day after the first of the month. I'm sure it's wild wherever you are. Stores are full and people are out. Nice warm day. In Chicago, it was nice and warm. We had some rain this evening, just a little drizzle or so. A little humidity. Well, for me, it felt like a lot of humidity. And pretty nice out there, I must say. Pretty nice. But I'm sure you guys are out and about doing your thing. And because it seems like I get more people on the replay than anything. Because, hey, Saturday is the time that got to do your run around. I myself went to the store, got a few items. I didn't need much. And then I went to, did my laundry. Oh, yeah. Then I got a little housekeeping after the stream. So, yeah, it's one of those kind of days. Do your chores, do your chores. But other than that, hope you all are doing well. Hope you're staying safe because there's a lot of stuff out there that's happening with the climate of change. It is just a change out there. We've heard a lot about the evictions and stuff, but there's just a lot of people that do not have the same income they had before or even have an income, you know? They have less. Some people are called back to the job, some are not. And I know I mentioned last week and I also kind of touched on it last night that I had another issue with the delivery company again. So people are not able to always keep people. People call off. I was in the grocery store last week and I remember hearing a manager speak with someone at the customer service counter and this is how he said, the kids didn't come in today. And what he was referring to is the young people that come in after school to work their part-time job. They did not show up for work. And I'm finding that with Amazon, a lot of times my package is on the way. It'll get there by 10 p.m. And then about 9 o'clock, oh, we're so sorry. There has been a little delay, but you'll get it within the next 2 days. And if you don't, just contact us and we'll give you a refund. I'm like, you just don't know. I'm going to contact you anyway because I'm a Prime member. You're supposed to get it to me. So give me that gift card, $5. Woohoo! Oh, yeah. So I got some packages coming tomorrow. I had a few things that I found out I needed. And I ordered them. And they're supposed to be here tomorrow. And they're coming in shipments of 3. So hopefully one of them be missed, and that's another $5. $5, $5, $5. $5 holla. Oh yeah, I get excited about $5. You got $5? No? Oh, okay. All right. Well, enough of all that. Without further ado, you guys know what to do. Put your hands up in the air and wave them like you do care. Why? Because you care for who's coming up next, don't you? Yeah. You know who it is.
Stay down there, girl. Stay down there.
Yes, gal, yes. Trust me today. Yes, me say. The problem is not me staying down there, it's me getting up. But I am here for y'all, okay? I am here for y'all because there's some news I gotta share with y'all. And honestly, other than spice, probably my number one favorite thing, as everyone knows, is being able to say, I was right and you were wrong. So I have a little bit of that news today, which brings me great joy and pleasure. It's bringing my fever down and everything. So I am ready for this. How are you doing this afternoon/evening? I don't even know what time of day it is. Man, I am so out of it today, but it's all right because it's the news day. And this is my favorite day of the week. How you doing today, Char?
Mine too, and I am doing all right. I'm going to take it easy. I got a little housekeeping after this,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
I'm going to relax the rest of the evening. And same thing for tomorrow. I may run to Whole Food. I haven't decided yet. Get me some salmon. I gotta increase my omega threes. And if I don't go tomorrow, then definitely Monday.
Okay, okay. That sounds good, you know. I plan on making a dent in my couch a little bit deeper and shaped, ruby sized and perfection. So, we all do housekeeping in different ways, right? It's,
Yeah.
that's my housekeeping this week. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I got this. Don't worry. I'll let y'all know if I need any help though, like because you can't move because then the groove kind of gets messed up. You got to stay right there the whole time. Trust me. I am an expert couch potato. I'm going back to my roots. So we'll see how this
Okay.
goes.
Cool beans. Cool
Hmm.
beans. All right. Let's see what we got here. Now, shout out to the Steam Adrian Thomas. He's been emailing some people some articles, and
Hmm.
I am thankful that he sent me a few over, and I will
Nice.
be showing a few. Now, this one just came in an email. I was about to exit out my emails because I try to keep these windows, these tabs, closed. You know how that goes.
Hmm.
And I looked, I said, oh, let me open it up. And I looked, I'm like, this kind of interesting. I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and hurry up and throw this out there, make a little few jokes, and then let you go. So let me bring it
Okay.
up. All right, let's see. Share. All right. Tab. Boop. Okay. There we go.
All right.
All right. And this is in the Netherlands, so I choose not to try to say these names. I'm not even going to try them. It ain't happening. I'm going to put one of the names in the chat room so you could see for your own self. You're like, oh, never mind. Say you're going to say, oh, I get it.
Hmm.
Mafufasasi. Oh.
One of those. Don't worry, I got you.
Shoot, if it ain't just Sue, Jane, and Amy, hey, you forget it. I'm going to screw
Hmm.
it up for you.
Man, that's like my mom. Honestly, though, my mom won't mess up anything that's like kind of basic anyway, right? Like I don't know how. Like you said, it has to be like one syllable, and you've heard it a million times, and even then, she might say it wrong. I don't know. It's just a thing that happens. It's all right. I just some of y'all. I know
Hmm.
I'm not gonna put an age on it, Vonda. Okay, I'm just saying some of y'all in not the millennial or younger generations. Y'all got issues with names. I don't know. It just is.
Yeah, we guilty.
Hmm.
All right, so this man he sues his neighbor for getting wife of 27. And why is this thing in my way? On my end, let me go to the 27 years pregnant. Okay, now the darn thing moves. Okay. A man from Headlands is reportedly seeking roughly $4.5 million dollars in damages from one of his neighbors for having an affair and getting his wife of 27 years pregnant. It turns out that the last child that he had with his wife is not biologically his. Dun dun dun. The man was identified as blah 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 blah, who is suing.
Really? You gotta at least give them like names so we can track it. Like Mr. X or something. But blah blah blah. Oh God.
Okay, okay, I will try. M and M. His first name starts with an M, and the last name starts with M.
All right.
And he's suing TLT. How about that?
See, there you go. That's better than blah blah blah. Oh gosh. Okay.
Of Namie Farms in Headlands after admitting to the act of adultery with Chippo Manasanza. Eminem allegedly heard about the affair of TLT from the grapevine. Uh-oh, he heard it through the grapevine. That last child wasn't mine. Lottie honey. Yeah.
Clever. Char's on it today. Okay.
So he heard it from the grapevine, and everything was eventually confirmed. The latter was ordered to pay 2 beasts. Okay. But the former is not content, especially since the neighbor continued the affair with Eminem. Ain't that about something? The defendant is even defaming the plaintiff by alluding to the fact that he is not man enough. Uh-oh, you're not man enough for me. Well, yeah, that's your girl. I like her too, though, Tony Braxton, but I don't like that song.
I hate that song. That's the worst song. Oh my
Yeah, I
god.
don't
But
like
yeah.
that song either. I said, what the hell is she saying? Man enough for me, that's it. I don't know what else she's saying, but
Oh,
anyway.
I do all. It's so whiny. What are you thinking? Did you know about us back then? I'm supposed to care about everyone he dated before me? Like, really? Chiquita, no, I'm not thinking about you, and neither is he. Go on about your business. Why are you so obsessed with my man? I thought you dumped him, girlfriend. Got you thinking about it. Oh God, I hate it. Sorry. Okay, I'm done. Sorry, this is the worst song ever.
The plaintiff had just obtained confirmation that the last born is not his progeny, but was fathered by the defendant, the court papers read. Mm, mm, mm. He won $4.5 million. He said, forget them 2 beasts. I don't know. That's how they, share animals and stuff or whatever. But he said he wants some bread. Keep your beast.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, right? It makes sense because I feel like stepfathering is a very noble job and a much needed one.
Yeah,
But it should
it
also
is.
be a willing one, right? You should have informed consent before
Yeah.
you bond with this child and love this child and pay for this child, sacrifice for this child. Like, you got to have that consent, that informed consent. Yeah, it's not my kid, but I'm going to love it like it's mine anyway. Um, and then, because I don't know if people know about this, right? But there's actually a thing you can sue for called alienation of affection.
Mm.
Um, and so normally it has to do with, like, let's say, okay, so I could sue my spouse's mistress for alienation of affection. And it's just basically like saying, he left me for her. She knew he was married and yet pursued him and basically, took him away from me, right? She went, made herself perfect woman and blah, 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 and talk shit about me and whatever to take my man and the affection I have with my man away from me. Um,
Ah.
right, exactly. And so likewise, you can actually sue a lot of different people. Like, it's like one of those really vague laws. So I have a feeling that he's probably suing not just because he financially took care of the kid and not just because, of the lying, whatever, but probably also the alienation of affection. Because you think about, um, that's like a really big betrayal. And she was
Yeah.
obviously showing more, we'll say, loyalty and devotion and love, really, to the guy who knew that that was his kid over him. So he's probably adding a few things in there. So I have a feeling he's gonna win.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he will. I'm pretty
Ooh,
sure of it.
it's gonna hurt because nobody makes that kind of money anymore. So I don't know where you're gonna get it from, but
Okay.
good luck. Good luck with that. Okay. What else can you say? That was dumb. Wife of 20. I was thinking that she just got pregnant when you first said it, right? Wife of 27 years. And I was like, 27 years, you carry the one. Like, what did you guys get married at? Like 15? How did she get pregnant now? How old is she? Right? Or how rich are
Okay.
y'all? She's getting pregnant at like 50. But okay. It was born before. I understand now. Um, so listen, y'all. I got for my first story. It's my "I told you so." Right. So there's a few windows, few things we're gonna look at. It's very exciting for me because I love saying "I told you so." It's what kept me going today was being able to say Ruby told you so. So we have talked a lot about the vaccine and about COVID and about everything, the ongoings. And I told y'all over and over again, the vaccine is not a solution. In fact, I
Hmm.
know that they know that it's not a solution. And I know that they are pushing this like its solution to give them time to find an actual solution. Basically, they're giving the entire planet a placebo to calm everyone down, so that way corporations and this capitalistic society that has been built won't completely collapse. The governments won't be bankrupted trying to keep the capitalistic society going, right? Because people go back to work because they feel safer, blah, blah, blah. So they sold everybody a placebo in the vaccine because the vaccine doesn't prevent you from catching COVID or from transmitting COVID. A lot of people know this, obviously, and ultimately, they're not even allowing you to vaccinate kids under the age of 12, who I'm going to say are going to be the biggest catchers and spreaders because they're just nasty. Their nose runs, they pick their noses, they rub their snot all over everything. Like if anyone's passing this along, it's going to be them. Um, so I knew that they knew this is not a solution and they are working on something else.
Oh.
We're going to talk about a few things they've been working on. Hmm, that's right. First, we're going to talk about Pfizer. Pfizer begins study of oral drug for prevention of COVID. Huh, wait a minute. Oral drug for prevention of COVID? Well, let's think about it, guys. If they thought the vaccine was a solution, right? Would you
Hmm.
need an oral drug for the prevention of COVID? It's like someone coming up with an oral drug for the prevention of polio, right? But we don't need one. We have a vaccine. We already have a prevention, right? It's good. Oh, wait a minute. Because the vaccine is not a solution. Okay, yeah, let's take a listen to this. So just like, and this is only number one. We got more.
Okay.
What if coronavirus could be prevented with a pill? Pfizer said on Monday it has started testing an oral antiviral drug for people exposed to COVID. In a mid to late stage study, Pfizer will test a pill in up to 2,660 healthy adults aged 18 or older. Participants in the trial must live in the same household as a person with a confirmed case of coronavirus. The antiviral pill is designed to block the activity of a key enzyme needed for the coronavirus to multiply. Pfizer and its rivals, including US based Merck, have been racing to develop an easy to administer pill for COVID 19. To date, Gilead Sciences' intravenous drug remdesivir is the only approved antiviral medicine for COVID 19 in the US. And while effective, it is time consuming, costly, and requires medical assistance to administer the treatment.
Uh huh. So now,
Mm.
first of all, we all know it's not effective. But with that being said, right? What did they tell you? This is, first of all, it's a mid to late stage study. That means that they've gone through multiple rounds of studying because, as everyone has brought up, they don't just come up with something in 2.5 seconds. They
Right.
don't. It requires, if it's going to make a real change and it's going to be administered like wide like that, they've got to do study after study. They don't even start on testing on animals, let alone on humans, and so on and so forth. For them to get to human testing, it takes a long time. They've been racing. That means all of the companies have been trying, actually pouring their actual resources into this, okay, which is a pill. Why? Because the vaccine is not a solution, as I've said so many times. And I told you, this is what they're really doing. Y'all will see. They are actually working on a real solution. Okay, so let's take a look at my second little window here. Because, like I
Okay.
said, I got time today. Oh, because it drives me crazy, because I've had this conversation with so many different people, and then they'll tell you that you crazy or you wrong or whatever, and I'm like, but it's so obvious. Like it is so obvious. Obviously. Now here's the thing, right? So you've got, oh, you can't see the title here. I'm gonna bring it down so you all can see it. World first UHN study shows antiviral therapy accelerates clearance of COVID-19. So this now, again, if the vaccine was really a solution that was preventing people from being hospitalized, was preventing people from experiencing the symptoms altogether, then why would they have been working so hard to develop an antiviral to clear the symptoms? Because again, don't we already have a solution for that, right? No? Oh no, we don't have a solution for that for real, because it's actual literal bullshit. Okay, so a clinical study led by Dr. Jordan Feld, co-director of the Schwartz-Reisman Liver Research Center and the R. Fellon Chair in Translational Liver Research at University Health Network, showed an experimental antiviral drug can significantly speed up recovery for COVID-19 outpatients. That is, patients who do not need to be hospitalized. This could become an important intervention to treat infected patients and help curb community spread while COVID-19 vaccines are rolled out this year. Notice how they have to add that in, right? While the vaccine's rolled out, right? Because remember, the pill that's actually going to work, that's still in actual testing, so they can't talk about that. So now, here's the thing. This pill also that they're working on right now that cuts the symptoms is actually being tested on the variants and on any potential variants, and it's showing great promise. So again, why would they do this unless it was necessary? But it's okay, because I got one more for y'all. I do. I love it. I love the Ruby is right segment. It always makes me feel great inside. Yeah, it does, because I'm just like, it's so obvious. Okay, so let's take a listen to this one. I want y'all to know the title of this article up here. Hey, go away. A pill to treat COVID-19. We're talking about a return to maybe normal life. Well, that's weird, because last time I checked, there was a vaccine that supposedly was the return to normal life. Wait a minute. You mean if everyone takes the vaccine, it's not a return to normal life? Okay.
Things that make you go,
Right, I'm just saying. All right, let's take a listen to this now.
Drug cuts the risk of hospitalization and death. Drug maker Merck announced this morning that its antiviral drug cuts the risk of hospitalization and death for people who have COVID in half.
Merck has paused its trial and plans to ask for emergency use authorization. Now, it's important here to note that this is meant for patients who are already infected with COVID. This is not a replacement for a vaccine.
CNN chief medical correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta here with me now. This feels like a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a big deal. We're getting all the information from the company right now itself, so it's got to go through the process that everyone knows, has learned about over the last couple of years. This emergency use authorization application means the FDA will now look at this. But as you guys just mentioned, Brianna just mentioned, this trial was paused because an independent group of advisors basically looks at the trial results and says, something's going on here.
Good. Something good is going on.
Something's good going on here, so much so that we don't think it's really even ethical to continue doing the trial if it's potentially as good as it sounds.
This is one of the things that's been missing all along, right? I'm not saying this is not a replacement for vaccines. Vaccines are still the most important thing here. But early on, before the vaccine, everyone was hoping there'd be some miracle drug that could keep you out of the hospital if you caught COVID.
Yeah, it's really interesting, John. Just historically, we think about antibiotics. There's lots of antibiotics for bacterial infections. As far as antivirals for viral infections, really in the world of HIV/AIDS, that's where most of it's been studied. There's things like Tamiflu, but there's never really been sort of the big antiviral push. Never really been a lot of funding for it. Every time something like this happens, a potential viral outbreak, there's renewed interest, and then it kind of fizzles, having covered this for 20 years. So here now you have a couple of products. This is the one from Merck, obviously. There's another one from Pfizer that's also being investigated. That sort of all along was being studied. And the thought was, look, it's probably not going to come in time for this pandemic, because we'll have a vaccine maybe or something else, or the pandemic will sort of end by the time these antivirals actually get developed. But here we are, at the end of 2021, still with a tremendous need for this. As you correctly mentioned, the vaccine still prevents people from getting the illness in the first place. This would be to treat people who are mildly ill.
Right there. It does not prevent people from catching COVID. It was never made to prevent people from catching COVID. It's not like I'm going against what the science actually says. What I'm saying is that the media is pushing that one sentence, even though it's not correct. And they're doing it because there's a reason that the vaccine was released to begin with. It was because the corporations needed their workers back. It's because society, all these businesses, right, the economy needed people to go back to work. That's all it comes down to. The vaccine, getting people to buy into the concept that if they get the vaccine, then it's like every other vaccine. You get the polio vaccine, you can't catch polio. And therefore, since you can't catch it, you can't spread it. That is not the way this vaccine works. And so this is what is so important. And so if you listen now, right, not only is there a race, but they are actually developing different drugs for different purposes. So they're developing a drug, right? And that's the most intensive one. And that's why it's still in the study phases, right? That is going to prevent you from catching COVID, period. Then they are developing a drug for people who have mild symptoms, right? Who are outpatients, right? Just to prevent their symptoms from getting any worse. And they're developing a drug for people who have bad symptoms, good symptoms, doesn't matter what stage it's caught in, for them to get better. So that tells you, and then they just confirmed. No, they've been working on this the whole time. They just honestly thought, well, it might miss this worldwide pandemic. No, you were hoping it was going to fizzle out the way SARS and avian flu and all those other things did. You were hoping it was going to fizzle out. And when it didn't, renewed interest and funding went into funding these things. And then when we're asking where the money was going and no one was telling you, this is where it was going, right? Because they needed an actual solution, like Ruby said. And so now, y'all, an actual solution is on its way in pill form, just so we all know. And it's actually being researched properly, going through the proper phases of study, where it's actually going to be tested on healthy individuals who are being regularly exposed to COVID infected people in their household. So there's actually some hope now, some actual legitimate hope that maybe we won't be pushing the next one to 2028, as far as it ending. So it's good.
Yeah, because I'm tired. I'm extremely tired. And when I saw my physician on Thursday, she said, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. I'm like, okay. But anyway, this story here was very interesting. I always find something that I can kind of make a joke out of, but it is serious. So let's take a listen to what happened with this young lady, and we'll get into it here. Let's see. Where's my button? Okay, there it is.
Attacked by a fake flower delivery man.
The suspect caught on camera walking up to her home with a large bouquet. The victim says he tased her with her 2 kids inside the home.
And tonight she says her attacker still on the loose. CBS 46's Tori Cooper spoke exclusively to the victim about the terrifying encounter. Good evening, Tori.
Good evening, Alan. Sabrina says that this camera you see above her garage caught someone pulling up here for more than 16 days straight. She says during the course of that time, the individual in that car was able to study her whereabouts and therefore develop a very sophisticated plot to get inside her house. It's a knock at the door. Sabrina says she will never forget.
I'm terrified right now just because I'm a single mom. I don't live with a man. So now it's like, I'm calling my older boy because like, hey, you want to live with me? I'm scared for my life.
Sabrina did not want to show her face out of fear that this man in a white shirt seen getting out of a white van with a bouquet of roses may recognize her in this interview.
Like, and I'm not a stupid female. I don't just let random people in my house. That seemed like a real home delivery guy. He at least paid like $300 for those flowers.
Sabrina says when she answered her door, the man asked if he could come in to set the flowers down.
He set them down. When he turned around, he pointed something at me. It looked just like a gun, and I was getting tased probably for like 10 seconds.
She managed to remove the taser from her stomach, run upstairs to get her gun and her two sons, ages 5 and 10. She called 911, but the man already took off.
I never stepped foot back into that house when I left.
Sabrina then took another look at her surveillance cameras and noticed different cars pulling up to her house at different hours to survey the area. Her camera also caught this man in a mask, dressed as an exterminator at the door just days earlier.
He was there looking. He was sizing up the cameras.
Sabrina hired a private investigator, Sergeant Jay Graham, who says he checked every flower shop in the area, but couldn't tie the bouquet in question back to one location. But he did discover that this man was not looking for wasps, but rather looking at the cameras outside.
I hope somebody got some information and find them.
Now, Sabrina says the man was not wearing any gloves, and therefore she believes his fingerprints are likely still on that vase of flowers. Now, I reached out to the Atlanta Police Department to find out if they ever took any fingerprints, and they did not get back to us as of news time. Meanwhile, Sabrina says she's just hopeful that they can track this man down before he hurts anyone else. Live in Buckhead, I'm Tori.
Yeah, I agree. That is some scary stuff. I mean, this guy went that far to case the house, look for all of that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I want to throw a little joke out there, if you will. But this is serious. But, I was trying to bring it down a little bit. But, she's over 25. So, that's, hit the wall status, according to YouTube streets. And then she single mother. So, who would want her, right? Hey, that's what I hear on the street. But someone went this far. And this is really scary, though. I mean, to case the house for the cameras, security cameras, looking for all that kind of stuff, so you can come back. What the hell? That's a lot of time. And that's some money, too, because if you make money, then you're losing money because you're not at work or whatever you do to make money. You're not making it because you're casing out the house and spending money on this, that. What the hell is going on?
Right.
Wow. Goodness.
It's terrifying because, we talk about scams here a lot, right? With the scammers and whatever. But, I guess we don't really talk about, the dangers as much of the people who are using scams now and getting better at scamming to disarm women who are currently home alone. You might not even be a single mother. You might have, because I've heard of stories like this as well with people who are married, but the house is being cased by some dude. And so he knows when the husband's home and when the husband's not, right? So he knows he's got 3 hours where the wife is home alone. Right. And he'll go and attack her at that time. And, the whole delivery idea, I mean, it's unlikely that she's completely single because otherwise you'd be like, who the hell's sending me these crazy flowers? You probably think it's from your significant other. Right. And it's like, oh, that's so sweet. We had a nice day the other day or, whatever it is. And flowers. Oh, I'm just thinking about the emotional high and then, how confusing it must have been initially and then terrifying because you were so disarmed by the flowers. Oh, my baby got me the flowers. And then before you know it, you're on the floor being tased. And trying to, and your kids are upstairs and what the horror.
I'm glad that is disarming. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad she got away.
Me too. And was able to get her kids.
Yes.
Mama was about them kids. Let me go get my kids. Now let's get the hell up out this house.
Right. I got another psycho. I also have a Karen who was doing the same thing, impersonating herself at a doorway. But that's during the Karen segment. So let's talk about the psycho first. Okay. Now, before we talk about the current story and why he's on our list today, we gonna talk about why he should never have been in the position to be in this news story.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So this is creepy, right? Middletown
yes, he
man.
Is. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just look at his face, right? Creepy as hell. What the hell? Now, he was indicted on 14 charges after dead cats were found in his freezer. For those of you who don't know, by the way, when we're talking about psychopaths of the murderous variety, a common thing they have in common is that before they kill humans, they kill animals. Just so we're all clear.
Oh.
Yeah, they torture and kill, abuse animals. It's a common sign. Now, just because your kid does do this doesn't mean they're for sure a psychopath. But when retroactively we look, all psychopaths tended to start on animals first. Okay. Now, this dude's name is Edmund Cunningham. He's 24 years old at the time of the arrest. Okay, this was just in 2018. And he was arrested in August of 2018 after they discovered 9 cats and kittens dead in his freezer. He admitted to killing 8 of them and was charged with 8 counts of cruelty to a companion animal. But based on new evidence, officials said the charges have been increased to the 14 charges we see here. Now, when the dead cats were first discovered at the home on Roosevelt Boulevard, neighbors said they were stunned. It's scary. It kind of makes you wonder what was really going on, Kim Luttrell said. She said she used to see kittens outside but hasn't lately. Every day when I would put food out, they would come, but I hadn't seen them in a while. And I don't know what happened to them. I kind of just thought that was really weird that they just disappeared, Luttrell said. Right? So he was indicted and he was convicted. Okay, this is not like there was a mistaken identity, and so he was 1,000% convicted. It's important you understand and know that he was convicted. This has not been wiped from his record. This is knowledge, common knowledge. So now let's listen to why he's on our hit list today.
Oh boy.
Yep. Trust me. The old boy is well warranted. Okay.
Meow.
Well, that's right, Mike. And tonight he is charged with aggravated menacing. He's out on an OR bond. The woman who went to explore the mall says her fascination quickly turned into fear.
I think that I made a very huge risk going to that mall with that man inside there.
Mary Chambers says she and a friend were drawn to the Cincinnati Mall, now known as Forest Fair Village, last Tuesday. She wanted to see what she calls a dead mall with barely any stores left.
It's really cool. It's actually a really nice place. It's just sad, eerie,
But she says a few photographs of stores past angered Edmund Cunningham, a man police say is a security guard. His anger apparent in video captured by Chambers.
Oh, yeah, I tried to block the license plate.
We're not doing anything. Get away from my car.
Chambers says Cunningham followed them and berated them, telling them to leave, even pulling a knife.
I still got a gun.
Cool. Does it make bigger?
Out of my state. Before I live
in Ohio.
Code 4576.
Oh my God, dude.
Cunningham was convicted on animal cruelty charges in 2018 after Middletown police say he admitted to killing 8 kittens and throwing them in his freezer. Another woman told us he also confronted her for taking photos.
He has a knife.
Shut the up and get the off the property.
Oh yeah, you're gonna pull a knife with kids. Great.
For Chambers, the encounter is worse than any shopping trip could have been.
Oh, I'll show you a lunatic.
I know you will, and I'll record you doing it.
I'll crush the phone out of your hand.
Don't touch me, dude. Hey.
Get the out of here.
And why was he employed there? They have to know that he had done what he had done in the past.
Now, according to police, Cunningham said he ran out of medication and his paranoia surfaced. He also said that the knife was simply a training knife. We tried to get in touch with his attorney. So far, we have not heard back. We're live downtown. Dan Griffin, WLWT News 5.
Now, let's just get that seed of that knife up in here. I want
Get
us
here
to,
now.
right? Like, what is happening in this world? that this man was hired. That's the scare. He was hired, Char. They said, you know what? We need a security guard. You, sir, you seem like a perfectly mentally stable, competent person. And oh, there it is. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
security for you.
All right. So there's his training knife. Now remember that there's already been at least one other complaint. The complaints are all by women. And he has approached the women with the knife, including the one who had children with her.
Now that, oh boy. I was about to
Right.
joke about the fact that, he's going after Cat, but no, this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's escalating. It's kind of like there's a documentary, and I think it's just absolutely asinine. But anyway, there's a documentary that's titled "Don't Fuck with Cats" on Netflix. Um, I watched it just because I was like, yo, white people are serious, right? Because they don't care what happens to black folk, but they care what happens to cats on the internet. I'm confused. So I watched this, and it was this dude. They couldn't identify even what country he was in, and basically he was torturing and then killing cats on YouTube. And people started kind of like an investigation about it. They couldn't really get you know the police authorities to care, and people started saying like, listen, he's gonna escalate to humans, you know that, right? And then he escalated to humans and he killed a couple before they caught him. So this is why I pointed this out. They took someone who has been arrested for not just like torturing or throwing stones at cats, for murdering 8 of them, cats and kittens. Who kills a kitten? Like, they're even I'm like, you're so cute, and I don't even like animals, right? He killed 8 of them, was convicted in 2018, and now we're at 2021, and he's a security guard, with his own, like, no one's watching over him. Right. No one's there to stop him with what he's doing. Now, he isn't registered to carry a gun. I'm sure he's not registered to carry a knife either. Didn't prevent him from having one. And y'all saw the fury, the fists, the what. Dude, security guard. Okay. Yep.
He's grown to hate what he loves. He wants the cat, he can't get it.
Right?
So he attacks it.
Right. Thank you. I'm so glad. I knew you were going to see the comparison here between the kitty. Mm-hmm. Right. So, yeah, we might want to work on that. People who are responsible for hiring security. Because what the hell?
Okay,
why was he in the
position? They
position?
shown up for the job. Come on now.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. I know.
Well,
I know.
I got a little, a joke if you want. Shout out to Super Slash 75. He had this short clip this morning, and I said, "Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it." And let me just show it. Where is my other button? Where's the button? Oh, there it is. Boop.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Meow. Well, I know that was quick, but I'm sure men, you guys had that testosterone. You know what you saw, and you did see what you saw. So when I saw this, I said, "Oh, I get it," because people, they're into marketing, and they hear the men on YouTube complain about women, and they wanted to solve the problem. They're like, "Oh, well, since you have a problem with that gender, let me see if we can get another gender for you. How about your own? And see if you like that." Yeah. So there you go. There's your new option. And see how you like that. Yeah.
Is that what? Girl, I am out of it today. I was like, I was not getting it. Yeah, the Playboy bunnies. Yeah, What's I didn't get that at all. Nope,
Well,
didn't process for me.
they're complaining. They said that the women are not feminine and they're overweight and overage and all that. So you have this young man um, with the sexy walk and all that kind of stuff, acting feminine. Hey, he had it all together for you. So that's something new you can choose since you don't like, the opposite gender. So there you go.
There you go. That's true.
There you go.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Hey, I mean, I don't blame marketing because if I was a marketer, I was like, let me see if I can solve a problem. Let me see and make me some money. Oh, you got a problem with that? Oh, well, let me give you the opposite then. Here you go. Yeah, maybe you like this.
Might as well, right?
Yeah, you can always try. That's all I can say. You can always try.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll do another quick one since I got a couple of quick ones.
Okay.
And this one is about a man and his girl. I think it's his girl. They're probably going to say, no, this ain't his girl. Char, you just tripping. No, this is his girl. Not every man can have a woman. So he got his girl with him. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't be making fun of this man. This is his girl. Believe it or not. Yeah, it's his girl. He carpool, with his girl. Now I'm going to read the story, but I still say it's his girl. So just keep that in mind. This is his girl. Don't make fun of the man.
Good golly.
Mm-hmm. This is the Boney Express. Woo-hoo. Joke, ha ha ha. Boney. Ha ha. Texas driver caught carpooling with Skellington. Yeah, there's a skeleton he had, That's his girl. Don't worry about it, though. A Texas driver was spotted in the carpool lane with a skeleton riding shotgun during rush hour Wednesday, according to Harris County officials. Harris County Constable Ted Heap shared a photo of the skeleton in a humorous Facebook post Wednesday, saying that deputies had a feeling in their bones. Get it? Feeling in the bones. That something wasn't right. A Harris County deputy spotted the driver in the Houston area around 4:45 p.m. cruising in the Katy HOV lanes with his frightful passenger mouth agape, disguised only in a baseball cap. Our deputies saw right through the ruse and issued the driver a bona fide citation. Get it? Bona fide? The post read. After a sternum lecture, get it? Sternum lecture, deputies wished him bon voyage. Get it? Bon voyage? Yeah. Just saying. But anyway, he could be fined up to $500. But don't make fun. This is his girl. That's all he could do, He want to say, he didn't want to leave her at home. So she rides with him, She's not overweight. She's under 25. And he, she's right there by his side. Just saying. Just saying.
That was so corny. No, I don't even have words for no corny. Nope. I'm not co-signing your shitness today. Nope. Corny. Bon voyage. Lord Jesus. Char's like, listen, I'm gonna give myself a chuckle today. I don't care what the rest of y'all think. I think this is hilarious. Okay, whatever.
That's right.
I see what you did. I see what you did.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Now, okay. I'm not even dealing with these people. Listen. This is the thing, right? I mean, people are dating their damn cars, right? They're like falling in love with their cars. For real. I've literally seen a guy making out with his car. There was a TV show, My Strange Obsession, and that's what it was. People in love with, inanimate objects. So, I mean, at least this is kind of human. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just like it's yeah. Okay. All right, y'all. We're gonna talk about Lauren Pefferle. Okay. Lauren Pefferle. Now, Lauren Pefferle kind of tells us everything that's wrong with the education system. But before we talk about again why she made the news today, we're just going to give you a little background on Lauren Pefferle. Okay. So, Lauren Pefferle didn't want to be in education. She didn't. Lauren Pefferle wanted to own her own gluten-free and organic raw food and drink business in Beaverton called the Queen Cafe. She was not very successful at it. Let's listen to her ad.
Okay.
Do you or someone you know have a hard time eating out of the house? The Clean Cafe desires to serve tasty food free of gluten, dairy, soy, corn, eggs, peanuts, and cane sugar, as well as organic and raw options.
Yeah, that was it. I know you're thinking something's going to happen now, right? No, nothing's going to happen. She's terrible at like marketing.
She had a small budget. See, that's what it was.
Yes, the very, very small. Apparently, so small she couldn't afford to paint her cafe in a good light. Oops. Right? So she registered the company in 2014 and then had a lawyer register the business again in 2015, and then it was closed as of 2016. So, what did she decide to do with her life? She decided to get into working in education, and she became a special education assistant. Okay. Now, remember that a big issue that we have in our community is a bunch of our children who don't belong there are often funneled into special education instead of just given a little bit of the extra tutoring or help or whatever that they need. So this is going to obviously, when ancient people are just let in to the school board, right? Because there's not a lot. It's not like super hard to become an aide. It's different becoming a teacher. At least you have to go to school and pay a lot of money to do that. No, it's not very hard to become an aide, as Lauren proved. So now I think we should talk about, well, why is Lauren on our hit list today? What did Lauren decide to do in her capacity as a teacher's aide for special education students, which we know, again, are probably more predominantly Black than anything else? This is important. There's a reason I brought up race. Okay. Take the hint, guys. Take the hint. All right.
Welcome back. This is new tonight at 6. A Newburgh teacher's aide suspended by the school district speaks out tonight about why she wore blackface into the school building.
She calls it a protest. K2 News has obtained video, which we received from a freelance photographer who spoke with Lauren Pefferle, who says she is the teacher in question, the teacher's aide in question. The freelancer did the interview, and we have an excerpt for you. Now, in her own words, this is her explanation for coming to the school in blackface.
Other unvaccinated staff were being told by the Newburgh School District administration leads that we could not work with students unless we were 6 feet apart, starting right away, starting Thursday afternoon. And so I was on my way to lunch. I took my lunch and I processed this, and I was thinking that this is segregation. So on Friday, September 17th, I showed up to school and I put on some dark makeup on the parts that were showing my skin, including my hands. And I came in hopes to represent Rosa Parks, who I admire for standing up during her time when segregation was taking place. And I felt like I and others who are unvaccinated were starting to experience segregation.
Lauren Pepperly confirmed to us by phone that she is indeed the person who appears in the video. We asked the school district for confirmation of Lauren Pepperly's name and employment, and it declined. We reached out to a number of teachers from Mabel Rush Elementary, where the incident happened. One teacher confirmed to us that Pepperly is the teacher in the center of the controversy.
Now, obviously, that's just asinine. Obviously, is you were being segregated because they said that you need to stay 6 feet apart from each other because of COVID. So you decided it would be a good idea to paint your face and all your visible skin with iodine to intentionally come into the school in blackface to represent Rosa Parks. That's what she did. Now, here's the thing. You might think to yourself, well, I mean, she's just a one-off crazy person, right? I mean, come on. I mean, we see the craziness from anti-vaxxers all the time. They do stuff like this, right? Anti-vaxxers and Karens and whatever. But no, this is actually an indictment of the Newburgh School District. I want y'all to understand that the Newburgh School District has had a lot of race-related issues. So I want y'all to take a look at this really quickly, okay? And so now this is a tweet that was sent. This is an issue that they had before this, okay? Now this Newburgh School District has been dealing with several controversies around race, including a racist slave trade Snapchat group. You heard that right. Deleted earlier tweets on this subject to clarify a few details. A group of students at Newburgh High School allegedly created a Snapchat group called Slave Trade, where they joke about auctioning off Black classmates as slaves. Okay, this is and that's what you see here. So I'll read a little bit of this out to you. They can run, but they can't hide. $100 each, double the trouble. They like picking cotton. I'll take them for 150 as the pair because the one's gay. I don't F with the gay ones. Okay. All Blacks should die. Let's have another Holocaust. Gay. I concur. Right. So that was all Blacks should die. Gay. I concur. Okay. Man sus. He comes as a bonus. He's free. Man so gay. I'll kill him for Jesus. Okay, and then let's scroll down right here so you can see the bottom where it says for real. Okay, that is what students got together as an organized group and did that the school was aware of.
Oh.
The school was aware of this. This is just the latest controversy that they've had. When you look at this Newburgh School District, there's a serious underlying issue of racism and prejudice and bias that has been affecting students, especially for a very long time. And now they fired the teacher or the teacher's aide because they kind of had no choice. Like, it wasn't like they cared, right? There's the superintendent's going, oh, I'm so horrified. I can't believe this happened. Really? You can't? Because you have all your students trading Black students. So you're surprised? Okay. Sure.
Lauren, I have a message for you. I have a little advice for you. You may need some of those nutrients that you taking out your diet. So try, some eggs and some dairy products. Try that. And get you some gluten too. You need some gluten. And also maybe get someone to hit those glutes. You might need some of that protein that he puts in you, because there is some things missing from your life. And you eliminating all those things are not going to help you in your career, your life. So try that and get back with me in 6 months and see how you're doing. Thank you.
Right? You would think She knows the value of clean eating. She needs to start clearly because, yeah,
Gee,
yeah,
weird dough.
I-
Wow, nobody in that woman's life.
at all. Can you imagine? Like iodine. Where do you even get these ideas from? I'm gonna paint my skin with iodine so it can't be easily washed off to go and protest.
Too much.
Yep.
Too much. The next thing I have up, I think I'm trying to think, did Adrian send this to me as well? No, I think this one I found, and the next one he sent to me. All right, so let me talk about this. Let me find my tabs. Now they're all over the place. Okay, boop. And I've really found this very interesting. Let's see what it says here. Texas doctor who violated state's abortion ban is sued, launching tests of const- constitutionality. Okay, let's see what's going to happen here. Let me scroll down. Oop, I went too far. All right. A lawsuit that could test the constitutionality of the nation's most restrictive abortion ban was filed in Texas on Monday against a doctor who admitted to performing an abortion considered illegal under the new law. The details of the civil suit against Alan Braid, a physician in San Antonio, Texas, are as unusual as the law itself, which empowers private citizens to enforce the ban excuse me, on abortion once what is that cardiac activity has been detected, sorry, often as early as 6 weeks into a pregnancy. The plaintiff is a felon serving a federal sentence at home in Arkansas with no connection to the abortion at issue. He said he filed the claim not because he strongly held views about reproductive rights, but in part for the $10,000 that he could receive if the lawsuit is successful. A second suit filed Monday, just 4 paragraphs long, came from a man in Chicago who asked a state court to strike down the abortion law as invalid. Now, I'm going to hope to follow this. I'm going to hold on to this because I want to know what's going to happen. Because this is the first suit that we know of. And this guy he wants the money. He cares nothing about anything. He's actually serving a sentence right now in Arkansas. And he wants that 10K. So he has nothing to do but just sit around and like, hey, there's an abortion. Let me get on this hotline, 1-800, give me $10,000. Hello? Yeah. You know that doctor? Yeah, he did that. Yeah, approximately, I think he went over there at this time with this woman. Yeah. Okay, here's my name, John A. Felon, 123 Penitentiary. Yeah, okay. Yeah, make sure you wire that, I need some singles because I need to, hand out a few people. I, owe them a little bit. So, okay. Thank you. So I'm wondering how this is going to work out. I'm really wondering. So I'm going to keep it bookmarked and follow it, and hopefully we can get some details.
I think I've thought in general, right? That the guy who filed the suit, like they must have collaborated with him in some way. And I'll explain why I think that. Because how the hell would he know?
I agree with you.
Right? Like how do you know? Like you're in prison. Like it's okay.
I agree. I just, joke that he's, watching and looking because he ain't got nothing to do. He got all this time on his hand. He's like,
yeah.
Oh, there we go. So, I just made a joke about it. But yeah, more details, will come and we'll find out who's sharing the information. Somebody someone in the medical office that told someone, say, hey, I'll split half or I'll give you something.
Well, from what I was looking into, right, is that it was never actually going to, like, as in the conservatives were never actually going to try to use this law. And the reason why is because if you use it against someone who bothers to fight it, right, the only way you can change the law now is to challenge it and challenge its constitutionality. And so if you challenge the constitutionality and it's unconstitutional according to the country, well, then it's going to basically overwrite the law. And then at that point, since you'll have a precedent set that this is not a constitutional law and therefore it won't be upheld, then basically it squashes the whole thing. So it's like the right wing was never actually, all these movers and shakers in the right wing were never actually going to even try to challenge this. It was more of a, like, something hanging over people's heads. So, you know, since they're scared, they just won't do it. It's going to significantly decrease the levels of abortions and people willing to do them and people willing to get them because they're scared, right? Now you've got someone actually challenging it, right, with a really good chance it's gonna get, you know, overturned. They're not liking this. So from what I understand, the right-wing movers and shakers in this abortion ban are actually not happy that this is happening because this is the way to defeat the bill.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. I have heard a lot of talk about it, but I really didn't know which direction it's going to go. It, you know, makes sense that you want to keep those that are pregnant to, you know, for population purposes. I get that, but how far can you actually go? And then the incentive for financial gain, I'm like, well, who's you know, giving this money? So it's really strange. And like I said, all I can do is watch that piece because I'm really curious where that leads back to.
Right?
Now this next story it's a little scary to me, to be able to sue, because you know how people are. They, you know, okay today and then tomorrow or next week they're upset with you and they're like, hey, give me some money. Now I do understand if this is just for, you know, those that have been assaulted, molested, those type of things, but my understanding that's not what this is about. So let's take a listen. Let's see. I think an ad is gonna play. Yep.
From Kimball Roof.
I knew it. So let me do that. And greetings, third world. How are ya? I'll type your name shortly. Uh-oh.
Bill would allow a person to sue anyone that causes an unwanted pregnancy and create a public abortion fund for out-of-state residents. News Channel 20's Jacob Emerson is working for you to break down the proposed law and why lawmakers say it's inspired by recent abortion legislation out of Texas. Jacob?
Yeah, Stacey, that's right. And some Democratic lawmakers here in Illinois say that this new bill will examine just how extreme this new Texas abortion law really is, which does, of course, allow anyone to sue any abortion provider or anyone that aids abortion in the state of Texas. This Illinois bill, though, it would do the opposite, allowing anyone to sue those that cause an unintended pregnancy.
This month, the most restrictive abortion law in the nation taking effect in Texas, effectively banning all abortion after 6 weeks and allowing private citizens to sue those that perform them.
What would the implications for Illinois be if we were to adopt a similar approach? You know, what is the impact on our civil court system? What is the impact of, you know, deputizing neighbors to turn each other in for money?
Those are the questions Illinois Representative Kelly Cassidy asked when she introduced the Texas Act in Springfield, otherwise known as the Expanding Abortion Services Act. If passed, the bill would flip the new Texas law upside down, allowing those that become pregnant in Illinois to sue the person that caused it, starting at $10,000. Residents could also sue anyone who commits sexual assault or domestic violence. If they win, half of the money goes to a public fund to pay for abortion for residents of states like Texas.
The Texas law went into effect on a Wednesday, and just 2 days later, we had patients at multiple health centers here in Chicagoland.
While Planned Parenthood Illinois hasn't taken an official stance on the bill, they say Texans seeking abortion are already flowing into Illinois. But for those at Illinois Right to Life Action, they believe the proposed law is unconstitutional.
This allows women to seek damages if they become pregnant after consensual sex. The fact that they will be taking money from people to fund abortion, there are so many aspects of this bill that just make it completely unserious.
For Cassidy, she says that's exactly what she's trying to point out.
It is built exactly off of the Texas law. People like her all over this country are making folks flee their home states to get health care, and creating incredibly unsafe situations for people all over the country.
Now, abortion access in Illinois is very protected. In fact, it would be untouchable even if Roe v. Wade was overturned at a federal level. When I was speaking with them earlier today, Illinois' Planned Parenthood tells me that one last key piece, though, of legislation they would like to see passed here in Illinois is getting rid of the parental notice for abortion, which would allow anyone under the age of 18 to receive the service without getting a guardian or parent's permission.
Yeah, that's a little disturbing to me. I'm not certain why this is. I haven't heard any talk. This was sent to me, I think it was just yesterday. I got this last night. I didn't do any research just of what the article is talking about, but I'm like, consensual sex and you can sue the person? I'm like, that's opening a big can of worms. That I don't like this at all. I don't like this.
And I agree. I think that it definitely is problematic if it's going to be abused. And the problem is we have a lot of, people who are willing to abuse the system. I also think, and here's part of the issue, right, is every time that society comes up with a law to protect the innocent and punish the guilty, it tends not to protect the innocent or punish the guilty. It tends to reward the shady and the shifty.
That is a very good way of looking at it.
Right? Because I'm like, we were talking about this just a few weeks ago, you, me, and Vonda versus Brother Bay, right? It's like, no, we can't tell if the condom's on. So if I had a conversation with you, we agreed to protected sex. Now we're in doggy style and you whip off the condom, right? And, fool me into thinking we've had protected sex. And then I end up pregnant because I didn't take Plan B. I didn't do anything extra because I thought that, we were using a condom the whole time like we agreed, right? Should there be some type of consequence for guys who do that? Especially because honestly, guys willingly and freely, openly admit this, that they pull the condoms off. They admit it all the time. Well, I start with one and stuff. It's so frequent, it's almost becoming acceptable behavior, except it's not acceptable behavior. Because not only are you opening the woman up to pregnancy and all of the risks and health decisions and whatever complications that pregnancy brings, right? But you're also exposing her to possible disease and stuff like that. Like, it's not okay. So should there be a punishment? Yes. But the problem is how do you legitimately enforce that without also giving a tool for liars to just use against innocent men? Right?
Yeah, and that I can't come up with, and I don't see this being it. I see this being abused more than used. So,
right. And then what about the situations? And I can't remember. I think it was Fox Soul. I was listening to them talk about it, and Funky Geneva was talking about it. And it comes down to like, well, what about when you have all of the best intentions? Sometimes the condom comes off, right? And it's like, okay, well,
breaks
or breaks,
shreds.
Right. And it's like, and the men don't always necessarily notice because they're right in the heat of stuff that the condom broke.
He's like, oh, it's feeling better. All right.
Right.
That's, natural. Yeah.
Exactly. Thinking to yourself, well, you're just getting closer and closer to climax. That's why it's feeling better. So, it's not always so cut and dry. And the problem is, should men who are in that position where the condom just came off and they didn't notice, or it broke, well, you're going to be able to use this law against them as well? Well, or what about when you just both willingly engaged in the no condom sex, and then later she wants to take it back because
Right. Still
whatever.
have the baby,
right,
and get the money. So
and get the money and be able to now hold you criminally liable
Right.
for
That's
not wearing the condom. Like it's problematic. That's what it is. It's problematic. I understand it. I do think that there should be some type of something, but the problem is, how do you prove what happened in the privacy of two people's bedroom? I mean, and this is why it's hard enough to prove real rape allegations versus false ones. It's very difficult to even just do that at this point, let alone for us to now prove someone took off a condom or not.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. This is going to go down a scary route before that storyline is done.
All right. Well, everyone, you know what time it is. We get all excited. We rub our hands together. It is that Ken and Karen segment. And Ruby have us on the edge of our seats. We want to find out what's going on with this these little teasers that she show us. So, Karen, get started. What you say?
Feet away, coronavirus. You are Karen.
Hey, get away. Keep away. Keep away.
Okay.
Okay. Now, as y'all know, and if you didn't know, you should have known. We are listening to our Ken series right now. Okay, we're going to listen to a few more pieces of that saga a little bit later with the insane voicemails. And yes, as promised, your wait is over. We will be hearing from Crazy Ken's mother today. Yes, we will. The amazing thing is, Crazy Ken's mother is going to last until next week. That is how much of Crazy Ken's mother called this poor woman. But before we get there, let's cover some classic Karens. As I told y'all, we are definitely today going to be talking about a Karen who decided to masquerade as an official. So let's watch her first, because
okay.
Karen. It's just, you would think the worse the consequences are for them and the more embarrassing this gets socially and publicly and whatever, right, that they would slow down. But no, it's like they think they're getting craftier and they're just getting more embarrassing for themselves. But God bless you, Karen, because you know what? Without you, we would have no Karen segment. So thank you. Thank you for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So in our first Karen segment, Karen is an investigator for the California State Board of Equalization. I didn't even know that existed, but apparently Karen did. Let's take a listen.
Investigator from the California State Board of Equalization.
Okay, so who are you looking for?
Do you own this property? Are you the owner?
Are you looking for?
I'm looking for the owner of the property.
Well, then I'm pretty sure if you're the tax fraud investigator for the state of California that you'll know how to find a property owner.
Well, if you're not the tenant on the lease, then I'm going to have the police out here and have you removed in 2 days. You understand?
You're funny.
You laughing at me?
Yes.
You look like you're on drugs.
You look like you're on drugs.
Looks like you're on drugs.
Well, you're being recorded.
So
that you're representing.
It doesn't matter.
It will be recorded. So you're.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
it doesn't matter.
We'll see what the police say.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're. Well, this house looks like it's got issues.
You look like you have issues.
And there's no.
Some bitch.
Okay. Oh, some bitch at your door. You got squatters here at this property, and I'm going to prove to the police that you don't own it. Okay.
You're a squatter. You're on my property. Get off of it.
Actually, you know what?
Uh-oh.
I'm going to have you removed from this property in 2 seconds. And I've got your phone number out here and your son's card. And I'm going to make sure that he's doing no construction without a license.
Handle your business, bitch.
Oh.
Handle your business, bitch, because this house looks like shit.
You look like shit. Go take a shower.
Oh.
You got spider webs in your lawn.
You had spider webs in your crotch.
You know what? Go back to doing your drugs and squat on houses that you can't afford, lady, because you're going to be gone.
Okay, come back when I'm there and we'll see what you have to say for yourself.
What in the world? Oh my goodness. This is just too much. So the black person just gotta be squatting, and the drugs they always add that.
Yep.
Every
Always.
time. So that tells you what they see, or hear on was displayed on television and all of that. They taking that in, and it just constantly the same thing over and over. Drugs, squatting, drugs, squatting, drugs, squat. It's always the same thing when it comes to them in the house.
Right?
Wow.
And of course, if you didn't catch the vibe, she is not an investigator for anything.
Right. Tell me about it.
No, that's called bullshit. So for those of y'all who might have been buying it for even a second, no, this is a lie. This is what Karen does to try to get her way. She impersonates important people to hopefully get her way. This is, yeah, that's like what a thing to come up with though, right? The State Board of Equalization. Out of all the things, I'm like, I don't even know what the hell that is. I've never even heard of that before.
No paperwork, nothing.
Nope. Right? Imagine what I think is hilarious, right? This woman was so not buying it from the start. She probably knew who she was, right? She probably recognized her. But I'm like, she didn't even ask for ID, because that's what you do, right? Can I see your ID? No, she didn't even bother with that. Like, you're just a fraud. I don't believe you. So I'm not even taking you seriously enough to ask you for ID to watch you stumble about that. Like, just no. No, you just can't. But I'm going to have the police out here in 2 seconds. Okay. Where are the police? Y'all notice? More than 2 seconds went by. I didn't see. Did y'all see police?
Not at all.
No?
Nope.
Shocking.
Not at all.
Very weird. But here's the thing, okay? We are very hard on American Karens, right? It's just because they're just so entertaining. They really are. But the thing is that Karens are a worldwide phenomenon. They are. And they have existed for a very long time. So let's watch a throwback Karen from Sydney, Australia. That's right. I said it on a packed train in Sydney, Australia.
All right.
Can you see? You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. You just assaulted 2 people and then called the police. I'm going to get Springfield. I'm going to get both off. But they're going to get them off the scene. They're going to get charged with assault. Assault, really what have I touched? Yeah, you actually have. I'm saying. The whole train's looking at you. Yeah, that's great. I can video too. I can do that too. I can do that. It's too late to jerk off and you don't even get a gook. We can't even get a regular girlfriend. It's so sad. It's going to get a gook. What did you talk about? I talk. All right. Here, all right. What I talk about you? What I talk about you? No.
You're fucking scum. Holy shit.
What I talk about you? I tell you, naughty boy. You're a very naughty boy. We go back China. We go back China. We take up. We have straight visa. What's wrong with Hong Kong? Why did you come to this country? This is our country.
Fuck off. Shut the fuck. Honestly, shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up.
No. I'm fine, thank you very much.
How'd you get an Aussie girlfriend? You have to get a gook. You're sad, poor pathetic.
I'm actually married and
is it that little, is it? Is it really that small you can't get an Aussie girl? You poor man. Happens to the best of you.
Does it?
Yeah, I think it does.
Wonderful.
Yeah. This is great. Oh, look at this boat in here. He's got a goop. Look at it. Look at it.
You're
Look at it.
amazing.
Oh my God, isn't it sad? He can't get a regular girl. He's got to get an Asian.
A
That's why I can't
regular
get
girl.
anyone else. And she probably thinks he's rich.
Just because I cannot get a seat.
I cannot get a seat.
You can have my seat.
I cannot get a seat. I cannot get a seat.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Like that
Ooh,
was
same attitude.
right? Bruh. Here's the thing, right? Because they don't have as many black people over there. They have other races over there mostly, right? So actually, if anything, like I've heard I had an Australian professor and she said that they're not actually really very racist against black people, but that's because there's so few of them. So they're more like an oddity and like something interesting, but like, you know, kind of like the way Canada actually treats black people. For the most part, we're almost like rock stars. You know, even like in grade school and stuff, it's really weird. But, you know, they are very racist towards some group. Like they have to pick a group to be racist towards. Like it's not like they could just not be racist. You would think they could, but they can't. So like I've never like that goop word with the K at the end. I've never even heard of that term except for outside of like war stories after like the Vietnam War and stuff like that. Like who uses that derogatory term anymore? Like she dug that up out of somewhere. Man, like wow. Just wow. Yeah, and then she did the imitation of the way she was talking,
Right.
and then did the eyes, and then did the eyes.
I'm like, so the person looked different than you, so that's something to make fun of. What if she would have did the opposite and imitated you? Then what?
Right? It's like you couldn't even get a regular girl. You had to get an Asian.
Regular.
What?
What the hell is regular?
Right. Like what? So are they made out of different components or something? Like I just,
Right.
everything she said was so imbalanced. That was special. So see, there you go, guys. Karens have always existed. It's just we weren't on top of them with these cell phone cameras, right? We got to keep pushing worldwide, everybody, worldwide. Okay, go Aussie for catching this train wreck of a woman.
Okay.
Oh boy. Now, this is very interesting, y'all. So I'm going to tell y'all what the title is. Right, this is from the Public Freakout place in Reddit. If y'all are bored, just go watch these videos. They're not all Karens, but they're all hilarious. So this one is titled "Better Ending Than Game of Thrones." 10 out of 10 commentary. So of course, 10 out of 10, better than ending than Game of Thrones. I had to share this with y'all. So let's watch.
Okay.
I just feel I've done nothing wrong. Why let me get in your camera?
And your nose bleeding. She getting arrested.
Yeah,
Oh, fuck.
oh, young man, where you from?
The
Where
Bahamas.
you from?
The
My
Bahamas.
number's 875193857759.
What you want me to do? Wipe your nose? You want me
You
wipe
like
the
this
blood
up
from
for
your
me?
nose?
You like this up for me?
Yeah.
What message you
It's trouble. They message you? What I gonna message you to say? Clean your nose?
Have you got a lighter?
Yeah, hold
Can I
it.
buy a lighter?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
She don't give a fuck.
Classy.
Real soldier. That shit. Bombo clad dog.
Okay,
go, bloody
so I
nose.
see what's happening with this video. So this is like a collaboration. Oh, even more interesting. I am so happy we getting the West Indian commentator because you know that's what this person was talking about.
Right.
You know they're talking about this one with his mamba clock already. We're like 2 seconds in. All right, let's go.
Right. Right.
Mamba clock. Oh, that was good. Okay.
That shit is crazy. Look, you can kick him in the head. Oh, mate. Man. Hey, bro, you picked the wrong job, you know, soldier. You realize that? Oh, shit. Now you under arrest and she getting away. Now she getting away. Oh, man. Soldier. Soldier, now she getting arrested.
Not me.
Oh, fuck's sake.
He's like an instigator.
This shit is
Right.
crazy.
But he's funny.
Arrested,
Right?
Oh, mate.
Oh, Jesus.
Look, see?
You
Say
see what
help
her
for that.
dumbass friend just told her? Don't let him get on you. You fucking struggle. Okay. Now, words you will never hear a black person say to another black person, right? Because we understand now at this point, right here, we're in peril, right? We are not trying to encourage each other to be in more peril. But see, that is what privilege looks like. Privilege is saying you can fight to the bloody end and have no fear that it's going to turn out poorly for you, right? In fact, if anything, you might get away, but at least you'll get a few knocks in on the police, right? Meanwhile, us, we hit the police. God. Anyway, okay.
She just helped you. Don't get caught. Oh my God, I want to run. Because she running. He going somewhere else. Look, he going to another scene. That dude got something else going on and you about to run. Go save your friend, innit? Oh, mate. You gonna
Yo, this is
arrested.
horrible.
Oh,
They're about to
mate.
get down, look like in the corner.
Look, see, say help her then. She just helped you. Don't get caught. Oh my God, I want to run. Make all our titties come out, bro. Nah, oh, mate. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Them boys doing something else, bro. Yeah, help your friend, dog. Help your friend. She just saved you.
No, imagine we try to do this to the cops.
Hey,
though.
watch out boy, you messing break her neck, bro. Hey, bro, you might break her neck if you keep doing that shit. Them boys doing something else. Oh, you fuck. Oh, shit. Oh!
Dang!
Yo,
G shit right
like
there,
an
G.
action star.
Oh, you going down, make up.
Oh man, it cut off. I want to see what he had else to say. Darn.
He came with the flying kick shot.
He like, oh.
He just came out of nowhere with that flying sidekick. Yo, this was his Karate Kid dream come true, right? He just
Right.
came out of flame and he just came flying. And then he stood there and he was like squaring up, like, yeah, that's right. I feel the dragon in me. Like that was
Dang.
Oh, that was good. That was so good. They were right. That ending, priceless. And the commentary, priceless. Absolutely priceless. Okay. So now, y'all, we've gotten there. We're going to continue our saga. Okay. Now, y'all know, I told y'all, okay, first, for those of y'all who missed it, Buddy made a date with this woman. This woman happens to be a radio host, okay? And she's a good-looking woman. And then he stood her up, okay? Then he called her hours after he had stood her up to say, I'm sorry, my dad went to the hospital, okay? And then he called her back, leaving messages, by the way. She hasn't talked to him once, saying, I lied. My father wasn't really in the hospital. Okay. Then he called her back and said he was a little bit confused as to why she hasn't called him back yet, because his friends said he was open, he was honest, blah, 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 and she should have called back by now. And then he called her back to say she's inconsiderate and a bunch of other stuff, right? And then called her back and said, oh, well, I thought about it, and please don't play any of this on the radio or on social media because I, just thought about what your job is, right? And then he called her back, and I swear to God, this just keeps happening, okay? Now, I told y'all, I promised y'all that his mother, I swear to God, his mother is his best friend and had also called this woman. Well, guess what we are going to hear today?
Mama.
In fact, we are going to listen to at least 2, maybe 3. We'll see if we can get in the third one. Parts of Mama. That's right. That is how long Mama is involved in this scenario. Okay.
All right. We want to hear his mama. She's his favorite girl.
Mm-hmm.
Wee.
Oh, it's going to be good, y'all.
Ew.
What's interesting about this, though, I got to say, right? When women say, I don't want to date a man who still lives at home with his mom and stuff like that, right? And it's like, well, that's not fair. Men build. No, this is what women are thinking of. This, right here, this.
Right.
Okay. Right? Like, okay, let's take a listen. Oh, really, TikTok? After all of this suspense I built up, now you're just going to sit here and do this foolishness? What's happening here? TikTok? Okay, maybe I have to hit refresh? Or let's try to hit refresh. See what happens.
I promised you his mom's voicemail. So here's the first part, and then I'll post all of it because it's long.
Hi, Mason. My name is Patty, and I'm Bradley's mom. And I know I should not be calling you right now. That this is none of my business, but I have a habit sometimes of trying to make things right. And Bradley told me what happened over the weekend and about the date that y'all were supposed to go on, and I was so excited for him and excited for you too. I know you're new in Dallas, and you need to get out and see what the city's all about. And Bradley and I have a lot of talks about how we treat people and how he knows that what he did was not right, and he knows that, and he has acknowledged. He said, Mama, I know I shouldn't have done it, and I want you to know that as his mama, I take this very seriously, and I told him, you need to make it right. It's not how we treat people, and he knows that, and he's always been such a good, kind boy, and I just feel like...
What did I tell y'all? I told y'all, he said his friends told him he needs to call, come clean, say sorry. And I said, no, it was his mom. Because no friend would give you that advice, right? Yeah.
You did, yep.
Thank you. And for the record, y'all, I found the mama. I didn't listen to this. I'm listening to it for the first time with y'all. So I don't even know what's going to be said. I knew it. Now, he's a good, kind boy. Isn't he a grown-ass man?
He's a good boy.
This is not okay. Okay, anyway.
Like, maybe if you would consider...
Consider what? I'll tell you next. I promised you.
All right. Consider what, y'all? Consider what? Let's see. Maybe if you would consider, right? So let's see what she's supposed to be considering.
Give him another chance. Give my son one more chance.
I was singing that in my head too.
Please give my lame son one more chance. I'm trying to get him out the house. He's 46 years old. Come on, girl. Because he's 40 something. I forgot. If he's 40 something, I just forgot. But yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He's a grown ass. He's grown, and she's talking about him like this is her 14-year-old going out on his first date.
Right.
What the hell is happening? What? You picked up the phone and called this. Okay, all right. Let's see what she wants her to consider. Okay.
Maybe if you would consider giving them another shot, maybe you guys could figure this out. And so, what I was kind of hoping was that you maybe come over to our house and have supper and just kind of let you see that Bradley's a good boy and that I raised him right and he knows better than to do what he did over the weekend. So anyway, show you some Southern hospitality. I can make you some.
Make me some what? There's more audio to come. Just
maybe if you.
There's more. Make you some. Right? Don't forget that thought, y'all. Don't forget that thought.
Come on over. I'll make you some.
Now, remember, this woman is aware of what's happened thus far, and that her son is a whole grown ass man who pulled what he pulled. Okay, and now this woman's not calling her son. She's aware because she made sure she said it, right? I'm very aware. I was so excited for him and for you. This is their first date. This is not a girlfriend that they've been dating for a while. This is the first date. This woman is calling on behalf of her son, talking about how you come over for dinner. On the first date? I'm gonna come over for dinner at your mama's house on the first date? What kind of psycho thing is that? Like, you trying to like trap me forever? Forever and ever? Forever, ever?
But my mama, she makes some good biscuits. So come on over for the hospitality and give me a chance.
Girl.
Lady, give me one more chance. Come on, give Bradley one more chance.
I can't. Okay? This is creepy. Remember, they have not been on more than one date. In fact, they haven't been on a date at all because the one date they were supposed to go on, the first date, he flaked on. And then lied and said out of all the things the world you could say, my father is in the hospital.
Right. He couldn't even make it. He
Right.
pee on himself. He was so nervous.
Right. Right? Okay. So let's listen to this, okay? Now y'all enjoy this, okay? Because this is going to be the end of the saga for today. You're going to have to wait for the rest of Mama. So enjoy.
Anyway, show you some Southern hospitality. I can make you some barbecue. Bradley's really good at barbecuing. He makes the best barbecue sauce you've ever had in your life, I swear. He should bottle it and sell it. But that's neither here nor there. I tell him all the time, though. He could probably make a lot of money selling his barbecue sauce. But anyway.
Yeah, you probably could make a lot of money grinding up my body and putting it into a sauce.
Anyway.
No. No, she didn't.
Oh, she did. I don't blame her, though. This is weird.
It is.
Right? Like, this is the kind of thing where someone's pushing for you to come and they're either trying to get you into a pyramid scheme type of thing, or else they're kidnapping you to like steal your body or something.
Yeah.
No.
They would keep her. They would not let her go. I was telling Bradley to let you go, but he just really likes you, darling. But don't worry, we'll take good care of you.
Right.
We got the barn. It's kind of insulated. Don't even worry about it. I'm going to bring you some of that good barbecue in the morning.
It tastes sweet, doesn't it? Yeah? Yeah. That's a little bit of Alice. Alice was very sweet girl. Very sweet. Right? But it didn't work out between them. And, he couldn't bear to let her go. So we decided to memorialize her forever in this new spice rub. Right? Like, no.
Run, lady, run.
Right? Like, this is so weird. It just took such a weird turn, and trust me, it gets better. So make sure y'all stay tuned if you want to hear the Ken tales, because this is next level. Just next level.
Woo-hoo. All right, you guys. You guys be safe out there, everyone, ladies and gents. And again, the day after the first of the month, pay that rent. Don't be owing them folks. Pay that rent. But until next time, you guys stay safe and peace.
Cheers, y'all.